Hi everyone, this is Shankar here. We have start our Python series. So let's jump into the topic. So today we will see the what is the roadmap and along with that the couple of basic things. Okay. So first the roadmap. Let's see what are the topics this entire journey we are going to cover. So first we'll start with the fundamentals, Python fundamentals, and these are the topics. Then control flow, then data structure, functions, oops concept, then advanced topic. Okay. So after complete this entire all the six topics, we will build one project as well. Okay. So let's start. Today's like what are the topics we're going to cover. So today's objective it's going to be. So first we will discuss about who use Python and why use Python. Okay. Then we will see how any basically Python program execute. Okay. Then we see about the identifiers, variables, then print functions, input functions, ID type. Okay. So one by one, let's start with the first topic, which is who use Python and why use Python. So it's a very common questions for in everyone in our mind. Why I'm supposed to learn Python? Okay, if I learn Python, what the things we can perform in terms of our job, either you're a student or you're working. See, Python is the one of the language, it's regardless whether you are a tech background or non-tech background. Everyone can use because the syntax is very easy, right? So now the big question is like who use Python and why use Python? Understand the simple first point, Python is not designed only one type of person or one type of work. Okay, so different people use Python for different purpose. First, like if there is a software developer use Python, they use Python for web development, backend applications, automation, testing, scripting, game development. Okay, can use. For example, if you are a developer, you want to automate repetitive tasks, Python can be the very good choice. Okay, either you are a data analytics, data science, or data engineer. Also, they are using Python because they work with large amount of data. They use Python to collect data, cleaning data, analyze data, and visualize the result. Next, AI machine learning engineers. So today, AI is everywhere. So either you are a student or in a technical, non-technical, knowingly and unknowingly, everyone we are using on daily basis in a different format. Okay, platform they are using. So AI engineer use Python to build, train, deploy machine learning and deep learning models. Okay, and if you are a DevOps engineer or a system administrator, they are use the Python to automate their tasks, infrastructure management, monitoring, and scripting. Okay, and student also their huge demand people's like because of next what career what supposed to do. Okay, so Python syntax is very simple, readable. It is one of the popular language currently in the market. Finally, business and enterprise or entrepreneur, they use Python. They use the Python to automate their businesses and their day-to-day tasks to analyze their personal data to scale the applications. Okay. Then why? So who we have seen who use Python, then why use Python? Why not in other programming language? The first reason Python is easy to learn and use. If you when next we'll going to explain the syntax, you'll come to know that this point basically in practical. It is clear, simple, and very close to English. Is that one of the reason? And the versatility of this Python. You can use Python for web development, as I told in the beginning. It seems for data science, AI engineering, machine learning, automation testing, or many other areas. Okay, it has the large standard library. Okay, sometimes we call as an battery is included. So what it means? Python already provide many built-in module to perform common tasks. Okay, and it has a huge ecosystem and community. Python has a thousands of libraries and frameworks. If you face a problem, there isn't a good chance someone in the Python community has already worked on something similar. Okay. The another reason, the productivity. For example, a problem, it's been resolved using the Java. The same problem can resolve by the Python. If Java use 100 line of code, it might 30 or 40 line. Okay. So with Python, we can often write less code and achieve more functionality, right? The final, cross platform. So cross platform is nothing but the different OS. Either you are using OS like Windows or Mac or a Unix, Linux, Ubuntu, right? So all the platform can use to solve any kind of problems. Okay. So couple of real world impact of the Python. What is that? If you use Instagram, like almost everyone currently use Instagram, so they used Python in the backend. Spotify for data and machine learning, YouTube use also for their data processing. NASA is one of the space research agency. They use their scientific computing. Same way for Dropbox, their IT infrastructure they are using. Netflix for their automation and suggestions. Suppose I am using any of the OTT platform, Netflix, the one of the example, okay, and I love to watch action movies, okay, so it will recommend me to watch other same kind of movies, correct? Okay, I hope these are the point people can understand. So let's jump into the next topic. So next is very important. Why I'm telling? Whenever we have execute any Python program, okay, so any Python program execute in basically these three steps. First is in called as lexical analysis and parsing. Then second one is in compilation to bytecode. Third is in a execute by Python PVM. PVM is nothing but Python virtual machine. So first point, suppose I this is my source code file dot py file. Okay, it contained line of code. Okay, these are the code and these are the written in high level which human can understand. Okay, high level, so which human can understand but machine won't understand. So the moment we will start executing this file, Python what will do, it will read the code from line by line, top to bottom, top to bottom, left to right, left to right. It will read the entire source code and it will perform a lexical analysis. So lexical analysis means nothing but is a tokenization. It will interpreter read the source code, will break down in a token. So what is token actually? Currently we are heard this word actually many times due to this AI, like people are burning a huge number of tokens. Token is nothing but it's a unit of language. Okay, so it's a character like C a cat means three character. So 3 to 6 character. Create cat is a, contain a three character this word. Then friend, 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 it contain 6 character. Okay, so each one is a one token. Okay, in mathematical which I remember it's a 0.78 roughly. Okay, so what again it will do, interpreter break down into this source code into a token. So it will include the keywords, identifiers, operators, literal, etc. Okay, so the moment it will break down in a token, still it is a high level, remember. Then it will go for a second called as a parsing. So in the parsing it will construct. Right now we have the bunch of tokens, So in this bunch of token, it will create one tree like this called as an AST. AST is nothing but abstract syntax tree. These tokens are parsed to build an AST which represents to the grammatical structure. It means whenever this token is received by the parsing, okay, it will create a tree and which should be the grammatically correct. When we are communicating, like we are currently use English program, English language, right? So it should be the grammatically correct. Means instead of something, if I tell something, so the meaning should be totally different, right? That's what. So it should be in the format. Okay. This AST, it will go for the next level. That's called as a compilation to bytecode. Here what happened that this AST code, it will convert into a bytecode. Bytecode is nothing but zeros and ones. Okay. So it will convert into a bytecode. So AST, it is in high level and this one is in low level. Okay. So human can understand high level, but machine won't understand. Machine understand only the zeros and ones. So as it will compile the Python bytecode. So bytecode is a low level platform independent representation of the Python code. Okay. So it will convert into a low level zeros and one, and it will give you a dot pyc compile file. Correct? This file, it will go for the next step called as an execution by pvm, as in is a part of interpreter. So what it will do, it will read this bytecode. So here is the bytecode file .pyc file. Okay, so it contains zeros and ones. Okay, so it will read and execute this bytecode here. So during this operation, it will fetch and decode the instruction, execute, and next instruction, like it will, if required, to fetch any file or input from user, it will perform during this third step. Okay, again, if required, like memory management, garbage collection, input output operation, everything is handled in this particular step, and it will give you the output, final output, based on what code you are going to execute, right? I hope it's clear for everyone. So far we have seen how any basically Python program is executed. So let's move to jump into the next topic. These are the keywords. So Python has 35 keywords total. So like I have segregated in different categories, like decision and logical loops, conditions, functions, object-oriented programming, exception handling, modules import, then variable scope, membership. Okay, so these are the keywords. Okay, we will see in when we are, for example, functions, we'll see how create a function. Def is the keyword, and control flow, then loops and conditions where performing, exception handling, and oops concept. Okay, so let's see next to jump into the our code editor. Now we will discuss about that identifiers. So what are the rules? So identifier is nothing but whenever you are defining a variable, okay, there's a couple of rule we have to follow how we can define a variable. So these are the 5 rules we have to follow before defining any variable name. So what are those? We can use only A to Z, either is a capital character or a small. Okay, 0 to 9 numbers, then underscore. The underscore is the only one special character symbols which we supposed to use. Apart from any other special character, we cannot use. Okay, so identifier should not start with the digits. For example, 1 2 3 total equal to 30. So it's not a recommended, it will give you an error. Okay, special symbol, as I told, except underscore, we cannot use any other special symbols. Okay, Keyword also cannot, previously we have seen that 35 keywords. We cannot use any of the keywords as identifier. Okay. Identifier can are case sensitive, either like example total. So T is the capital and total T, the first character is in small. Both are a different. It will consider as a different. It means identifier or variable name is a case sensitive. Okay. So there will be three use cases. Use cases means here are like how we are defining our variable name. The first call is in a camel case, then Pascal case and snack case. Camel case nothing but each word, exactly the first word should be a small, remaining it should be a capital. Like I have given my where. So M is the small and V where V is the capital. Same way for Pascal, both should be the capital. My where M capital, V capital. Snack case, so both it should divided with the special symbol called as a underscore. Okay, so each word separated by the underscore character. Okay, so here suppose I have given this and I have written to print these functions, sorry, print this all these three variable name. Okay, so these are the rules which we supposed to follow. Okay, so couple of invalid identifier name which we not supposed to use. What are those? As I told, for example, we cannot start too fast, equal to take something, either integer or whatever it may be. Let's take none. If I execute this, it will give an error. What is the syntax? Invalid decimal literal. Okay, so Python, whenever we define a variable, we cannot start with a number. Okay, so another example, special, right? So instead of here, it mentioned like my where equal to, okay. If you run this, it will again, it will give invalid syntax. Same way, we cannot use class. Sorry, here if I is supposed to give an equal, if still it's an error only. Cannot assign expressions here, syntax error. Okay. So my where, right? Instead of if you use any keyword, the class is the one as a keyword. Okay. If I use class, again syntax error. So class is a reserved word just because of that it's showing an error. Okay. And we cannot use a separate like class. If I mention and mention name, different words, like if we execute same error only it will come. Okay, so I hope you guys understood what are the invalid variable name, or like based on the these five rules how we supposed to define our variable name, right? So let's understand about a variable. Okay, so here I have mentioned data types. So let me explain about that this data types. So Python has built-in data types and collection of data types. So in the built-in data types, what are the built-in data? Numeric, string, boolean, none. Okay. Inside that's numeric, we have integer, float, and complex. String is a sequence of character. And we how we are defining, either is a single quote or a double quote. Boolean, it will represent the zero or ones, like true or false. Okay. And the none type, it will not return anything. Collection type, we have a list, tuple, set, and dictionary. So each and every the collection type, we will separately we will explain, like it's required a lot of things. Okay, there's a lot of things inside this list, tuple, set, and dictionary. We have to explain. So I will create a separate video for this collection data along with this string as well. String has a lot of things like different functions are there. Okay, so that we'll see the indexing, slicing, everything we will see separately. String and the collection data type. Okay, so now the question is variable. So what is variable actually? Variable is nothing but, for example, I have to store something in somewhere, right? So variable is a name container, a container where we are going to store something, the value. Okay, so think of it like a level box. The level box is the variable name. It contain a value, right? If we need to see example, age. Okay, age equals to 30. If I print age, what it will return? It will give me a 30. Okay, so age is the variable name and 30 is the literal. Literal is nothing but the actual value which you are assigning to this variable. Okay, now see print function we have seen. So print function basically used to print something. Now let's see about couple of more functions, id and type. Okay, so id and type is nothing but what type of variable it is, and id it will give you the where the memory location where it's been stored. Print type, ty type of is age. Okay, if you run this, it will throw in as an int type, means this age variable, this age variable called integer value, right? If you see the type, print of type, of type, sorry, id of my age variable. Okay, and it will give you the address. So 30, it's an integer tag and it's stored at this particular address, right? So I hope this people have understand like why use type and id functions. Okay, now let's talk about a command. So in Python, how we are define any command if supposed to want to define. So command is nothing but while running Python, it will ignore it. Okay, so single line command hash or pound is the key we use to define or any commands. Okay, so command means whenever suppose we create a functions, these functions what basically it's performing, we have to type, we have to mention. So the next person who is reading this particular code, he or should understand, okay fine, so this function basically perform this kind of operations. Okay, so this is what like how we are using a command. Okay, so these are single line commands. If in multiple lines, if you want to again you go for like next and this particular hash or pound key, right? In Python, if suppose you want to use multi-line of command, so there is no very specific syntax to define a multi-line command, but we can use triple quote or single quote, right? Here this one. So again Python will ignore this one. Okay, if you write this, it will give you this output, but it will not nothing. Okay, but here is the one catch. In a string we will see, suppose if you want to use a multi variables, multi-line of variables, like if you assign this particular in as variable, it will consider as a multi-string, multi-line of string. Okay, variable. So that's what multi-line command. There is no specific syntax in Python, right? Again, we can use a single triple quote to define a multi-line of command, right? And the same way the docstring also we are defining triple quotes to define a docstring. Okay, that's we will see one by one. So next let's discuss about couple of examples. So let's see the couple of examples. So far we have seen like integer, right? Int, integer, float, then boolean type, complex data type, right? String data type. Let's see a couple of small example, right? And how we can multiple assignment, like a same value can assign to a multiple variable. For example, a equals to b equals to c equals to 10. So a, b, c, all three variable contain the same value. Print b, then print c. Okay. If we execute it, see all are contain the same value, it seems, right? If you want to see the type of this particular, what type of it is. Anyway, it's an integer only. Let's see. Print type of a. What is the type? So it's called as a class. So int class basically, right? If you see about, for example, the location, where the memory location it is. Print of id a. So this is the memory location. So multiple assignment, how we can use a same variable, sorry, a same value for multiple variables. Okay. Then how we can swipe, like for example, a and b contain a same value. Okay. To swipe the two variable. Okay. So that is also be a possible. Okay. Let's see the complex one. So complex, c equals to 3 plus, just for example, 2j. Okay. If you print c, it will give you 3 plus j. So here the first value, it is in called as a real, and the second one is in a imaginary. Okay. So here if you type, so it's in a complex, and what is the address of the c? This is the address. Okay. For I just want to see whether the real and the imaginary part we can see separately. We can access to the imaginary part and the real part as well. How? Print, if you type imaginary real, it will give you this imaginary part and the real part. So 3 is the real part, 2 is the imaginary part. All right. Then float also. Let's see the type conversion. So what is the type conversion? Suppose here I take a variable and it integer. Can we convert into a float? So type conversion basically will two types: explicit conversion and implicit conversion. Okay. So let's see first explicit conversion, right? So as it is, like take a age equals to 30. Okay. So age 30. Now it's an integer number. Suppose if I want to convert this age into a float, is it possible? Yes, it's very simple. How? Because we have to understand one thing here. We are not defining the what type of variable it is. Age mentioned 30, right? Did I define whether it's an integer, whether it's a float, or whether it's a string? No, I didn't define anything about this, right? So there is the one advantages there, and one very famous interview question also asked in this particular topic. The question is either is in Python is in a statically type or a dynamically type. We will discuss and we will see. Have to understand first the things how basically it's work, right? If I want to convert this one, how I can convert? Again, age equals to float age. So here let's print. print age. Now we have to print age. So 30, now 30. If you see here, print what type of it is. Okay. And here if you see the print of this type. Okay. Both are different. Sorry. Hang on. Print. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Now the first age. So age is the variable. It contain value or literal 30. Whenever we have print, it's giving a integer value. See the class of this integer value, right? Again, we convert this age into a float. Okay. And print, it is giving a decimal number, right? What is the class? Those this next after converting is in a float number, right? So that is the one of the reason. First of all, we are not defining what type of variable it is. Just because of that, Python is a dynamically type. Okay, during the runtime, it will identify what type of value it is. Based on that, it's a give you the output. So this is one of the reason Python is in a dynamically type, right? So let's see now in a string. Okay, so we'll see the float, integer, complex. Let's see the string. So in string, take as a name into Shankar. Okay, print name. Okay, so if you execute this cell, it will give you a Shankar, the output, and if you see the print type of this, it's in a string. What is a class? It's a string. I'm just giving a very basics, so those who do not have any knowledge about the also people can understand. Okay, right? So stay with me. We have lot many things to have to discuss, right? So one more thing here. So far we have seen how we convert, right? So that was the previously explicit conversion. What is the implicit conversion? Okay, suppose I take a variable a and it contain 20 and pi. So what is the pi value? 3.24. Now result equal to a plus pi. So pi is in a float and a is an integer. If we execute this line of code, okay, what it will give you the output after adding, it will give you the float value only. Again we will see the type of this, right? So Shankar, it was the okay, so two type after perform addition operations, okay, it will convert into a float. So a is the integer, pi is the float. After result after performing addition operation is to give the float. So this kind of conversion called as an a implicit conversion. Okay, so next, now let's see the input function. So input function is nothing but whenever you wants to take input from a user, we use an input function. Okay, so take a variable like please. Okay, input, please enter your place. Okay, so the moment you ask, it will be an pop-up here. You can see the top, enter the place name. Okay, Now it's execute. So it's take a input from user. Let's print it. Print place. Okay. So it will return to what input you are giving. Bangalore. Okay. So it will give an return as an Bangalore, like what input you are giving, right? So what is the type of this actually? Print. What is the type of this place variable? By default, actually, whenever we are take input from any user using input function, okay, it's in a string. Okay, let's see, str class, right? Okay, fine. So far, what are the topics we have discussed? Let's create one small project, not project actually. Let's see. So this is what we going to right now explain. So what is the questions actually here? So ask the user for their name, age, or favorite programming language. Okay. Store each in correct name variable. So we have to create three variables, one, two, three, right? And we have to store, we take input from user, right? And we have to print using f string. Okay. So let's take name. Name equals to input. Okay. Please enter your name. Again, age equals to input. Please enter your age. Okay. Now language. Language equals to input. Please enter your favorite programming language. Right. Now store each correctly named variable. We have store in three different variables, right? Print using f string format. Print f string here. F string. Hello, my name is here, and then okay. So let's execute this so far. So first is asking about enter your name, right? Give Shankar, give your age, give the programming language which you'd like. Okay. So here you can see, hello, my name is Shankar. I'm 30-year-old and favorite programming language is Python. Right. So this three has been satisfied. Now next, print the type of each variable. Let's print the type of each variable. Print type of name, print type of age, print type of language. Okay. So these three are, what is the type of this three variable? Let's execute once again. Okay. Then give the age. Now give the programming language, Python, and execute. Okay. So what is name? Then a string, both all three are a string, right? Now, next is what? So here is convert age from string to integer, then calculate birth year. So now age. So age is a string format, right? We have to convert into int. Give int and then age. Okay. Next is what? So calculate birth year. So what is the current year right now? Okay. So birth year we have to give the current year equals to 2026. Now have to calculate the calculate sorry instead of this we suppose, if mention current year, birth year, instead of that let's give the current year. right? Now birth year we have to calculate. Okay, birth year. So birth year is nothing but we have to check whether the last one, either user is in user is in 18 years or not, right? So birth year, current year minus age, right? Let's print the birth year. So what is the birth year? So your birth year should be 18 or equals to more than 18. Okay. Let's execute once again here. Give your name, give your age, give your the Python Python. Okay. So we have convert this and we have see what is that? Your birth year, right? So how we can check once again either it's been converted and what is the type of the age. Once after that, if you want to check, you can check using the print function and what is the type of age right now. Okay, what is the type of this age? If let's once again give your name, give your age and the your favorite programming language, Python, right? So now it's been converted into integer, right? So print whether the user is 18-year equal to or more than 8 year or not. Just is adult or not. Is adult equals to age greater than equal to 18, right? Now print using f string the user is an adult or not. True or false it will reflect, right? Give your name, give your age, then thon Python, right? See, is it true, right? So far, so we have explained the couple of fundamentals topics, right? Is the part one, part two. Again, I will create. So I hope you guys have liked it. Thank you so much. So keep learning, enhance your skill, and stay productive to make yourself shine. Thank you so much, guys.